this style of DJing didn't exist. It's almost like something was calling me.
Junior high, they would bully me every day, and that's when I started writing raps.
If you could rap, the gangbangers liked you. So I started rapping. I'm cold like that. That's how you get named Ice.
From Ice-T to Grandmaster Flash to Busta Rhymes, the new series on A&E dives into the origin stories of some of hip-hop's biggest names. It's called Origins of Hip-Hop.
Executive producer Slane Hatch joins us to tell us more. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good, good. So you have some iconic names that you guys are featuring in this series. I'm curious how you decided who you were going to reach out to and dwindle that list down to the ones you got.
It was a big list, so it took a lot of time as A&E and Mass Appeal were looking through and contacting. So it really became contacting, I think, everybody on the list that we started with. We would love to get, again, if we could get a season 2.
Yeah, and I think, Slane, this is so interesting because so many of us know the music, right? And we know the songs and the hits, but we don't necessarily know the backstories of some of the people behind this music, like Fat Joe, for example. Like, when you hear some of the songs, you're like, oh, yeah, I love that, I remember that, but we don't know a lot about Fat Joe. So, we're like, for example, Fat Joe, like, what do we learn about him in his episode?
I think what you learn about Fat Joe is really about his struggle. And all the things and his perseverance and all the things he had to fight through to get to where he is. I mean, this man literally just never stopped when he had a dream from, coming out of selling drugs to getting into hip hop. Once he had his focus, he just never stopped.
Did you feel like that was a common theme in the people that you did feature, just the struggle and the persistence? I know Ja Rule had a story too that she shared with you guys.
I think the common theme with them is their perseverance. And what we really tried to focus on was what made them great as an artist and that struggle and to get to be the best. And I think we did a great job of allowing the artist to tell their story. Each one's different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so many also like struggling with loss, right? And Busta Rhymes, I know when you talked to him, that was something that came up in his story, right?
Yeah, Busta struggled. Busta had some loss. Busta has a beautiful moment with reuniting with family. I think with Busta dealing with leaders of the new school and his group and really something that as a young man, as a young artist, that was important to him, and that separation really affected him as well.
Was there any artist that when they were saying it was just something that opened your eyes, like I had no idea about this?
I think every artist opened my eyes to them. As a fan, as I'm sitting here doing these interviews with them, you're like you said, your Fat Joe's going or Ja Rule's going, and you're remembering all the music Busta Rhymes. But what made them iconic as an artist and how they relate that, like in their mind, that's the aha moment when you're sitting here recapping, listening to the music and like, oh. When he tells you a story, Fat Joe tells you a story like he pulled over on the side of the road to lean back, or Busta Rhymes relate who actually turned him into an artist. Ja Rule talking about who his songs are for and what was pushing him to make this type of music. It really becomes eye-opening.
And do you get into it all, like the early days of hip hop with this? I'm sure you do with some of these artists. I just watched, and I'm sure, I don't know if you've watched it or not, the Will Smith interview with David Letterman that posted recently. And he was talking about the early days in Philadelphia, how people would gather around at parties around a boombox and listen to a cassette tape somebody recorded at some other party. And that's how they learned about like rapping and hip hop, and that's how it spread. And now to think about how huge hip hop is. I mean, it is like the #1 thing. Like Jack Harlow comes out with a song, blows up all over the world. So thinking about where these guys started and where it is today, do you get into any of that a little bit in this series at all?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we start with one of the founders of hip hop and Grandmaster Flash. And then Grandmaster Flash's story hasn't really been documented. This is really the first time that he sat down and talked from his side of the story. So understanding the science that he went into to create, to take what we all knew at the time was just a record player and make it an instrument, a musical instrument. You get into the essence of hip hop from the beginning all the way up to some of the greatest. Luther Campbell ushering the sound of the South and what he had to go through in Uncle Luke's story, all the way, Ice-T in his beginning, being the West Coast original. Like, there's a lot of foundation and understanding in their stories.
Let's say you get a season 2. Who are you going for? Who's your top person you're asking?
Oh, we have to, those are secrets. Let's get to season 2, and then we'll,
Must not reveal. Well, thank you for joining us and revealing what you can about this season. Of course, you can check out Origins of Hip Hop on A&E. Slane Hatch, we appreciate it.
Thank you very much.